How'd you like that entrance?
Man, I felt like Mike Tyson walking in here, man.
Un poquito diferente, right?
Oh, Julio Cesar Chavez.
There you go. Give it up one more time. We're gonna have some good times here. So, for everybody here who loves your music, we grew up to your music, can you talk to us how you became Fat Joe? You talked a little bit outside, but talk to us about how you became Fat Joe at age 12. You started thinking differently.
Well, you know what's up. I grew up very poor. That's right. I grew up, he knows the hood. So I grew up in the projects. I grew up very, 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 very poor. And I was telling the young brothers out there, the basketball players, I was telling them that when we was growing up, we ain't have no inspiration. If you Google the Bronx in 1980, you know, it looks like Ukraine, a war zone. But I remember a moment in my life, I was only 12 years old with my friend Louis, and I was telling him, yo, this poor stuff, this ain't for me. Like, and he was looking at me like, what? Because we didn't have no Kardashians. We didn't have no Instagram. Like, he didn't understand it. And I was just like, nah, this being poor, that ain't for me, bro. I'm getting up out of here. And so that's how I started thinking since the age of 12.
We call that humildad and no come mierdanes.
Wow, we going there.
Hey, this is like a living room. Gary and I were having breakfast.
I'm definitely allergic to come mierdas, trust me.
See, Gary can't write me up for that one. So Gary and I were having breakfast the other day. We were talking about you, and we're seeing you on social media with presidents, vice presidents, politicians to rappers of back then. You know, how are you able to be in so many rooms as yourself?
Oh, I'm definitely myself. And so whether you're a billionaire, you're Jewish, you're Muslim, you white, you black, you Latino, I'm always myself at every time. So if you see me on a yacht with a billionaire, just know I'm talking to them like I'm talking to you, or how I talk to the homeless guy on the corner. I never changed my voice. I never changed who I am. And to tell you the truth, I'm a self-made man. So I don't look at others' success like envious or I gotta be around somebody. You know, I look at it as inspiration, and I also look at it as if he could get it or she could get it, I could get it as well. So I implore you guys to go and get your money, go get successful. I want to look up to you.
Why is it important to you for you to maintain your culture? Because we were talking about at lunch yesterday, a lot of times people come out later in their year, but you were on Primer Impacto, you've always been yourself. Why is it important to maintain tu cultura?
Well, you know, I make music for everybody, right? So my music is for everybody, no matter what race, what religion, whatever. You know, I grew up in the 90% black neighborhood in the Bronx, and we were like the only Puerto Ricans in that neighborhood, believe it or not. And so it wasn't until I got a little bit older in high school that I met some other Boricuas that was like, you know, we run the other side of town. I was like, no way. Like, we didn't have no Instagram and I went over there and they blasted Hector Lavoe and they got Puerto Rican flags all over, Dominican flags. I'm like, yo, I didn't even know this existed.
The beautiful aroma of cuchi frito.
The cuchi frito, man, listen, stay healthy, guys. We need a vegan cuchi frito. That might be a concept, right? I went to the store the other day, yesterday. I was at a gas station. They had every chicharrón de puerco. I said, no hay de pavo o pollo. He was like, no, es muy raro, gordo. You know, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Cuban. My wife is Colombian. And so
shout out.
We super Latino, right? And so I make music. I do everything I do in life to inspire everybody, and everybody could enjoy it. But I guess, you know, I've always embraced being Latino since day one. I've always, you know, the first mixtape that ever was made between reggaetoneros and rappers is called Boricua Guerrero, and if I knew any better, I'd be the executive producer of that because I got all the English-speaking rappers to rap with all of the reggaetoneros. Like Nas was on there, and I did songs with Mexicano, and we did it all. So I've always been proud of my race. I've always been proud of my culture. I think us as Latinos, we have the most pride in who we are, and then we gotta also take that into the work field. Meaning, if you become successful, a Latina successful, hire more younger Latinas, hire more Latinos, hire more black people, because unity is what I'm about. And so when you see people of color owning their own businesses, because that's what I'm about as well, equity. I'm all about everything I do, I own. I don't work for nobody. Right? Because I'm not the guy you're going to see walking up to the desk begging somebody to do something for me. So I put my money where my mouth is. I lose a lot and I win a lot. But I invest in me and my dreams and I push it forward.
100% un aplauso. Joe, while you take your sip, you're big on accountability and something shifted because you've been a rapper turned businessman. But before we go into there, social media, you hit it hard during COVID at a time where we had more time to be on social. Talk to us about how you got into it.
Listen, guys, all right. I don't know if you guys know, DJ Khaled's my little brother. I discovered him. And we lie to ourselves and we act like, when he says they don't want us to win, they don't this, we imagine people trying to stop us so that we could push our success further. And so we all have haters in this room, and they say you ain't make it unless you have haters. But the day I turned on that social media, because I wasn't on social media before COVID, when I turned it on, my haters said, oh, man, he's over here now, and my daughter, she was 14 at the time, she's 17, and she was like, Dad, go live. And it was COVID. I was scared. I was home. I'm pre-diabetic, so I was really scared. So I was home for a year and 4 months. No such thing as going out, nowhere. If I ran to the supermarket, I ran with gloves. And I'm not gonna lie to you, we in Miami, this is home of the Trumpers, So the minute they see you with the mask, the gloves, the Lysol, they know you're a Democrat from up top. Nah, that shit's scary going to the supermarket in COVID with all the Trumpers. They had no mask on. They're Trumpers.
America.
My God. But I turned on the IG Live, and then we made it a show. We had everybody from Mike Tyson to Floyd Mayweather to Lisa or Rosie Perez or J-Lo or whoever you name, we had them on there just to entertain the people. I knew it was a dark time. I knew people were going through a lot in life. I knew people were stressed out. And we just wanted to keep them informed and see a face that they could relate to. But that opened the door. Now I got 3 TV shows coming out this year, finally, when the strike is over. And it's just, the other day, the vice president was in Miami, and she called me up and said, Joe, we want you to moderate. So it opened up so many doors. I'm hosting the BET Awards this Tuesday, for the 2nd year. So that little going live on Instagram opened up a whole group of doors. And I'll tell you something, just to continue the inspiration and the hope. You never know what God God's planned for you. You have to keep fighting. You got to stay faithful. You got to stay true to God and keep fighting, because you might come in through here and wind up being successful over here. Tú nunca sabes lo que te va a caer para ti. And so you always got to maintain.
You never know what's going to be put in your path. Para los que no hablan español.
Oh, everybody don't speak Spanish.
We want to be inclusive. Nah, I'm messing
Nunca
with you.
sabe. Dios está contigo todo el tiempo. A tiempo bueno y a tiempo malo. Y si yo tengo familiar ahora en la hospital que lo cortaron los dedos, so yo estoy triste, pero por lo menos yo creo en Dios, que yo sé que Él va a bendicionarnos y vamos a salir en el path más mejor.
Aplauso. let's go back into your business shift, right? So social media brought in a whole new avenue. And you know, I don't know, I thought I knew something. I'm discussing him shoes, right? We're talking, shout out to your launch on the Air Force Ones, everybody. Gary, you got yours on? Gary, you got yours on?
Globally. Sold out 5 minutes globally around the whole world.
Shout out to that. So, business leaders that you look up to, and the reason I say the shoes thing is not a plug, is because I'm giving him his advice, and he looks at me and goes, we have stores, we know what moves, right? They may not be looking good with suits, pero boom, boom.
You know, I'm from New York City. If they tell you, yeah, I've been in Miami too, 19 years, but I'm from New York City, and I know the smoke that comes up out the sewer.
Yep.
I know every hot dog stand owner. I know every cab driver, whoever. Anything that moves in that city, I know it. So I opened my stores in Washington Heights, Harlem, the South Bronx. And so the Nike people come with me, and let's not disrespect, but most of them are gringos, right? So they said, why here, Joe? Why? Nobody wants a store here. I said, because you don't see the money I see moving through here. I know where the oil's at, brother. I know where the oil's at. And sure enough, you know, my 3 stores, we do as much as 45 stores. So each one of my stores does as much volume of 15 stores, its same size. And so we built the school in one of my stores where the kids come after school programs. They eat, they learn how to computers, they learn mentors. We give out 18-wheelers of food out there, you know, to the people. And Thanksgiving, people got like trucks where they're like, okay, I could do vegan or I could do turkey and ham. But I mean, we give out so much to our community. You know, Hurricane Maria happened. And I was sitting on the couch right here across the street. And my wife was like, yo, those your people. You got to stand up. And so you telling the guy from the project, what the hell am I going to do, right? We send £1 million to Puerto Rico, 4 airplanes full of women's hygienes and waters and food to Puerto Rico for the people. And so we constantly giving back to our community as much as we can. Yeah. Because I feel like, you know, I could have got killed. I feel like I could have went to jail forever. I feel like my community really, really pushed me to be successful, and I could never forget where I come from.
Aplauso for that. We know that smell you're talking about in New York because Daisy likes the hot dogs after Gary takes us for caviar. We're still a little hungry, so we get the New York hot dogs. I got connected with you when there was a post when they were, since you mentioned Khaled, they were honoring you on the Walk of Fame. And I had seen that he had brought you, Jay-Z, and Diddy. And I was with Gary and I said, this is dope moment in the culture to see Fat Joe there, a Latino. And then Rich had reached out to me and said, can you send me that clip? Because it was a proud moment for us Latinos to see you on that stage. We love your music. We love, let's say, Jay-Z's music. But we also appreciate how you're always talking about business and opening the doors for others, just like they have. Who do you see in the reggaeton movement that is following your lead, opening doors for others?
I don't know if he's following my lead with that Bad Bunny boy, right? I live in the same building as, all the ladies are gonna go crazy, but with Nicky Jam, I seen him this morning. He was going to play basketball. He's looking slim as hell. And yesterday, we released J Balvin's sneaker, the Medellin Sunset at DJ Khaled's store. I was with J Balvin yesterday. I'm so proud. You know, Latinos, we got the numbers. We always knew it 20 years ago. We knew that we would be growing at a faster rate. Now the time has come. And so don't be afraid if you're a Latina sister. Like I got a Latina sister that I use. You know, I'm about getting money. So cannabis is legal in New York. I'm going to get the cannabis license and open them shits up. I'm a capitalist. I'm not lying to you. I give back. But I'm about making money. I like to find the things in life, right? And so she's a Latina. She's smart, but she works for a big company, the biggest company in New York. And I was sitting with her. I said, yo, why don't you grab another sister, a black sister, and you open your own company? and you own your own. I'm telling you, if you don't own your own stuff, they will fight. I tell you a story about Titi Amalia. Titi Amalia, my wife's aunt, my aunt Colombian, she worked for a company for 32 years. She opened the place every day. She made the coffee for the owner. Family, like you cannot believe it. The old man got ill. He left it to the son. The son's first thing was to fire Titi Amalia. After 32 years, we had to keep her in the house for a month of depression, crying every day for no reason. Oh my God, they don't have their coffee now. Yo, I'm like, yo, Titi Amalia, you're not there no more. Come back to earth. But my point is, no matter how much you think you're the employee of the year, if you got a boss, you can get fired. So I tell you all, entrepreneurship is the most important thing.
I love that. Were you always this confident and strong and believing in yourself?
You know, I'm independent. So I swear to God, guys, I'm a tough guy. Y'all got a good one in the Latino. You won't never see me fold. You'll never see Fat Joe fold, no matter what they throw at him. You got a tough one. You really do. And so I remember I was signing Atlantic Records, man, and I would pour my life and my pain and my heart into my music, and then I had to go sit and beg this guy on the other side of the desk to promote and spend money and market my music. And I'd be like, I felt like a real sucker talking to this guy, right? And so very early in my career, I said, you know what? I'm going to own my own. I'm going to go independent. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I never lost a dollar since. Music, my music career has been in the green ever since. This is about 15, 16 years. And so I've always believed in myself, and I don't have a problem losing. I had a song with Kanye West, right, who was one of my favorite rappers ever. And so I had a song with Kanye West at his prime. You know, Kim Kardashian's behind the camera at the video. And so I spend the money. You know, it takes money to make money. So, you know, I got to spend a couple of $100,000 on all radio formats, you know, promoting in the video. This Kanye West. This guy had an $8,000 tank top T-shirt I had to buy, okay? The only thing he charged me was his wardrobe, and trust me, this was expensive, right? Hype Williams, the most expensive video. We did it all. I invested it. It failed. It flopped, right? So bad that I doubled down again. I came back around, spun the block. I said, no. There's no way this song ain't a hit. I put a couple of more $100,000 down on that same song. It never went nowhere. But you know what? I felt good knowing that I invested in myself and I believed in myself. And even if I lost with that one particular song, at least I knew where my money went. At least I knew what I did. And, you know, I'm proud of that.
Yeah, no, shout out for that. Believing in yourself. You talked about you're 12 years old. You were already thinking, want to be rich. You know, and maybe I'll ask you this is, how much of that was your father, your upbringing, if you feel comfortable talking about the Mariel situation?
Oh, you want me to do that? So people don't think I'm Cuban.
This is the dopest interview you're going to get, dog.
I will FaceTime my father to curse you all out in Cuban right now. I got 12 brothers and sisters that we brought from Cuba. But in the Mariel, right, my mother and father were really, really poor, right? So they saved up, say, $1,500. And they went and bought the most rinky-dink boat you could see in the world. And so my father went over there to get the kids from Cuba, right? When he got there, they gave him 2 of my sisters, Lourdes and Mercy, and 30 other Cubans that they didn't even know. They threw them on a boat that maybe fit 6 people. So by the time they got to the Florida Keys, the boat was sinking. Coast Guard saved them. All I knew is a week later, we had 32 Cubans in our house in the Bronx. And I'm going to school, stepping on Willie Cheche Collet, Julio Ecojo, you know, this. Like, I mean, forget it. They all became our family. But that's a Latino experience for you, right? And so, yeah, that was an ill moment in my life. But we all got our own stories.
So talk about an embarrassing moment growing up Latino that today you're proud of.
An embarrassing moment growing up Latino that I'm proud of. I can't really tell you that right there. I've never really been embarrassed being Latino. You know what I'm saying? I've always been proud. Good question. But I've always been proud to be Latino, whether we had money, whether we didn't. We sure know how to party. We throw a party if it rains. To this day, my father's 88. Thank God he's still here. My mother's still here, and they throw a party if it rains. They be like, yo, we having a party tonight. I'm like, a party? Like, who's coming? Like, it's raining, we throwing a party. And so Latinos, we know how to party, man, at all times.
I love that. Give our audience a piece of advice for self-development or something they can take today and apply it to their business as you're launching out more businesses. What do you advise the people here today?
I say, don't count nobody out. Keep your ears open. My brother Pitbull, I don't know if y'all know, I got Pitbull his first record deal. Like, I went to New York and got Pitbull signed. I don't know if y'all know that. And thank God he's been one of my best friends forever. He's a beautiful person. He is who he is, right? And so Pitbull said, man, you got to listen to people, right? And so when I was growing up, it was all about, yeah, I wouldn't listen to people. Like, and when you're self-made, you feel like, yo, what could they tell me? I make my own money. I get my own money. But that's not true. And so you should hear people out with their business investments and what they think. I got a friend named Raul that's like my brother, one of my best friends, who used to tell me, yo, we can sell water. You always drink water on stage. We should sell water. This before there was water in your supermarket. And I look at Raul, he smokes the weed a lot. I'm like, yo, este tipo está loco. Está total. But yo, listen, nobody buying water. God damn, if I would have listened to Raul, we'd have sold so much water. Nestle would have bought us out. And so I made a lot of mistakes growing up. A lot of mistakes growing up that I'm trying to make up for it now as an entrepreneur. That's why you can see Federal. Like tonight, I got a gala. We're doing a fundraiser for justice reform for Jay-Z. So you'll see me tonight with Jay-Z. You'll be like, damn, this guy's already up there.
We had lunch, and then you went to Cali's with J Balvin, and now you're doing NAHREP, and now you're going to Jay.
I work. It's never a dull moment. And I got to donate and perform, and, it's a real thing going on up there. But, I like to stay working. I like to stay pushing the needle forward. And I listen to everybody now. People who have business ideas or whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to venture out and work with different people because you never know when you strike it rich. And like I'm telling you, you come in the game, real estate, you might come out the game owning a chef company. You might own a business, meet some tenants, they have a bright idea, and that's your way to success. It's like you never know how the blessing is going to come. And so you got to stay the course and stay positive and stay working and stay towards what you want to do. And then it'll finally hit. And it hits so incredible. Yeah. When it hits, it hits. And so trust God.
So you had the Balvin Khaled event yesterday. You're going to the Reform. You're going to the BT. You probably didn't know too much of us before you came here. What you've seen so far, these gente linda, what was the experience backstage with the players to meeting Gary?
It's crazy, right? Y'all, if y'all want to hear the truth, everybody put your hands in the sky if you want to hear the truth. Okay. I'm so happy I met this gentleman, Chino, and his first statement was, we're anti-come mielderia, because I've avoided events like this my whole life because I'm a hard worker that tightens my belt and rolls up my sleeves, and I make no excuses. And I've had times where I'm down, I had times where I'm up. And so, I'm the type of Latino, historically, I've always been looked down upon. No matter how much, el de la calle, he's the hip hop, se cree que es negro, all that, right? He's not a real Cuban, he's not a real Puerto Rican. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not nothing, right? And so, places like this I've always avoided, you know what I mean? But it's so beautiful to see Latino faces who's moving the issue forward. We have to always be proud of who we are. And back in the days, we're gonna talk. Back in the days, Latinos, to fit in, used to change their names into American names so that they could be so-called accepted. And we've had people that if we knew that if Run DMC was Dominican all along, would have made us a tad bit prouder. If we knew that Reggie Jackson was Latino all along from the Yankees, Mr. October, who hit the 3 home runs.
But who told you about that was crazy?
Reynaldo Martinez. And so those type of stories, they hurt my heart. And so you gotta always be proud, and you don't gotta shade who you are to be accepted with people. Because at the end of the day, people are about making money. They're about creatives. They're about visionaries. They're about winners. And if you win, because trust me, I've seen some guys win, that some guys do business with them that I know they would never talk to these guys 2 seconds. They would cross the street if they saw him. But they know this guy's a money maker. And so even though he got tattoos all over his face, he's this, that, we got to get money with this guy. And so that's all they really care about at the end of the day. So be proud of who you are. Don't change who you are ethnically. Don't change who you are culturally. If they're going to respect your great mind and they're going to respect your talent, be proud of who you are. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm proud of who I am.
Aplauso. Ladies and gentlemen, Fat Joe.